Hey ladies, welcome back to my brand new channel for Grown Women Only. I'm your host Nikki, and on this show we talk about love, life lessons, and leveling up. And as you guys know, we are in a brand new year, a brand new decade. How exciting is this? And because you are listening to me, that means you are blessed and you can do something about your life. As you guys know, this is a safe space for women. We do not judge, condemn, talk about, just be nasty. We don't do that here. We are only here to enlighten, to uplift, and encourage. Gentlemen, you are always welcome here. But the minute you come for my ladies is the minute I come for you, right? And shout out to the $20 wig, girl. Oh my God, off of AliExpress. I'm going to have to order me a bunch of these. Sidebar, I have a blonde mohawk. It is huge. It is an afro. It is all braided down because you're going to know what to do to her hair. So we're going to let it grow and we're going to rock the wig piece right now. So my looks will be changing throughout my YouTube journey. Thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see my new looks. I will actually put the link in for this wig as well. And shout out to the foundation. This is drugstore Revlon, honey. This is Candid photo. Not bad. Look kind of cute on camera. So I'm going to have to link the link for that as well and put the eyebrow link in. I'm just going to tell you what I'm using altogether because your girl does not believe that you have to pay a lot of money to look good. We don't do that over here. We save our coins for important things like real estate and businesses and things like that. Okay, so let's get into tonight's topic. So it is a new year, a new decade. It is the year 2020. So ladies, I need you to be on 20 all 2020. Again, I need you to be on 20 all 2020. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because this level up game is serious, right? I think a lot of us, especially Black women, live below our privilege, and we feel like a good life is being withheld from us, like it's out in our reach, like we can't have it. But let me explain this. Just because you haven't seen it does not mean that you cannot have it. And when I say that, I'm not talking about what happened with your aunties and your uncles and, nobody ever getting out of poverty and nobody ever having a successful marriage and nobody ever living out their dreams. Listen. That's their life, not yours, right? So we need to really start thinking and talking about this level up thing, and not just from a look aspect, because everybody's talking about the level up as far as how you look, how you present yourself, and those things are a factor, don't get me wrong, but the true level up starts in your soul. There's a scripture that I love to read, and it says, guard your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. And when I think of guarding my heart, I'm thinking of what? How do you guard something? You put a fence around it, or what? A boundary. Ladies, in order for you all to be on 20 in 2020, I really want you to start guarding your heart, right? I really want you to start leveling up from the soul. And when you level up from the soul and the mind, everything else will fall into place. I'm not a super scripture-y person, but I know them because my mother's a minister, yes. And it says, be ye transformed by what? By the renewing of your mind. The level up starts in your heart. The level up starts in your mind. Because if you can get these two things to coincide, honey, you're winning the game. I think for us as women, we put so much emphasis on leveling up or paying attention to things that do not serve us, right? Women, especially Black women, are known to give and give and give and give and suffer and give and suffer and give some more and suffer and suffer and suffer and give. And it's gotten us absolutely nowhere. I mean, absolutely nowhere. And I will say this, that nice girls, and when I say nice, women who allow people to manipulate them, walk all over them, be mean to them, be nasty to them, people who repeatedly offend you. If you continue to indulge in this type of behavior, you will always finish last. Nice girls do not finish first. They always finish last. I think in this life as a woman, and I will say it in every video that I have, your only job as a female, if you do not have children or a family that you're responsible for, the only job that you have is taking care of you. You should always look good. You should always smell good. You should be totally vested in you. And the reason I say this is because like attracts like. You cannot attract what you are not. It's so simple, but people make it so hard. Everything starts with you. Every relationship that you have outside of yourself is experienced inside of yourself first, always. And I think that if people understood that, they would get this together, their heart together. They would get their mind together. Because if something can catch your mind or your heart, you're done. I think that's why a lot of us stick with no good men for so long, because they either capture our mind or they capture our heart. And it's a double whammy. Like, you can't win for losing, because you've been programmed in your mind and in your heart to do what is opposite of what you know in your gut is right. Listen, if you want to level up in 2020, you have got to start thinking about you and addressing what is ailing you. And if you ever kind of want to know what is ailing you, look at your situation. I'm talking about myself right now. There are a couple of things in my life that I am not pleased with. And it's almost a blaring thing. It's like, have you ever seen like police cars? It's like sirens and lights, and it catches your attention. There are things in my life right now that are catching my attention that I'm not pleased with. So I have to do the work, right, in order to get where I need to be. And the thing is, when you start leveling up in your soul and in your mind, everything else follows. Because what you're doing is you're changing your vibration, right? You're changing the frequency that you are admitting into the universe. Ladies, it is not about a man. A man is a sidebar. It is always about you. Every relationship that you experience is always about what you are experiencing with yourself. If you don't love yourself, a man's not going to love you. If you don't treat yourself good, a man's not going to treat you good. If you don't forgive yourself, a man's not going to forgive you. Like, we always think that everything that goes on is some type of thing that we can't touch or reach or we can't control. The only thing that we have control over ourselves, only thing that we have control over is ourselves, for good reason, because there is a quote that says, when you change how you look at something, that thing will change. I think it's like a Wayne Dyer. I don't know it verbatim, but it's true. If something in your life is not serving you, you need to look at that thing first and say, okay, this thing is not serving me. How can I make it serve me? How can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? Because that is always going to be the secret to your success. You have to level up in your heart. You got to level up in your mind. And those are the biggest battlefields that any woman has, because women are emotional. We are givers. We are nurturers. And those types of things you do with your heart. Those types of things you do with your mind. You have to protect these things. But I want you to be on 20 all 2020, because you cannot acquire what you are not. You cannot acquire what you are not. Let's talk about that. Okay. So for me, it's about vibration. What am I sending into the universe? Believe it or not, we are all antennas, right? And we emit a frequency, or that frequency sometimes is called a what? A vibe. Have you ever been around someone and you just love their vibe? They are happy. They are whole. They are just fun to be around. They are loving, like, it's just great people, and you feel refreshed because that vibe or that frequency that they are emitting is one that you are attracted to, right? You're attracted to this. How do you get to that place where you can, send out that vibe or that frequency? Because the truth of the matter is this: in order to attract what we want, we have to send out the right frequency. And that frequency starts with first tuning our dial. And our dial is our heart, it's our mind, it's our emotions. All this stuff has to line up in order for you to get what you want. And I think that when people really start doing the work, they begin to understand, like, I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to be healthy. I want all these things, right? But it says that I would have you prosper as what? As your soul prospers. Like, if your soul is not prospering, how are you asking God for certain things? I'm just wondering. Because the thing is, in order for you to get where you need to be, your soul has to prosper. That is so important. The level up has to be constant. You have to constantly be reworking your life and figure out how you need to get where you want to be. Another reason, or another way that you can kind of calibrate your soul, is by listening to your emotions. Now, ladies, we're going to talk about this, because when you start listening to your emotions and you really start understanding that your emotions are an indicator and you really start listening to your intuition and you really get in tune with your body and how you feel about certain things, half the crap that goes on in your life just won't anymore. You have a radar that says, that's not right, or don't go that way, or danger, trouble. Like, I don't know what it is about women who entertain certain things, and when it gets thick, they sit back and they say to themselves, why didn't I listen to my first mind? What was I thinking about? Like, I know good and hell well that I should not have been entertaining that, right? Because we're not listening to our emotions, or we are not listening to our feelings, or we are not listening to that intuition that is an indicator. Ladies, if we are going to get on 20 in 2020, we really have to start listening to ourselves, tuning our frequency, having a relationship with ourselves, because the relationship that you are looking for outside of yourself is always happening inside yourself first. Your physical world is just a reflection of your spiritual world. If you don't love yourself, you're going to attract someone that does not love you, right? If you do not take care of yourself, you're not going to find someone who takes care of you. And the thing is, ladies, let's talk about these men, right? I don't know why everybody thinks that a man is the end all be all. No, love. You are the end all be all. You control your life. And do you know if you would just calibrate certain things, you could find a love of your life? This is your story. You can write your story. Nobody has the power to write your story. Nobody has that power but you. But we're steady giving it away by entertaining things that we know are not good for us, right? So ladies, this level up thing, men don't run your world. You run your world. And if you want a happy ending or that happy love story, first of all, you got to know, first of all, that you're worth it. Like, God, I don't want to curse. But girl, you have to know that you are worth it. A lot of us live in such a low state because we feel like we're not even worth it. I mean, self-worth is a powerful thing. What do you think you deserve, right? It's not what you can have. It's what you think you deserve. They're two very separate things. I can have a house, any house, but I deserve a mansion. It's different. I can have a purse, right? But I deserve Gucci. Do you know that when you start carrying yourself with an air of expectation and an air of deserving, that you will get what you want 9 times out of 10. It's going to be that 1% that tests your gangster, but that's fine. Test my gangster all you want to, because it's airproof. So the thing is, like, it's not about what you think about me. It's what I think about me. And in turn, what I think about me vibrates into the universe, and the universe gives me what I want because I'm vibrating at that level. I'm attracting opportunities and things because I am vibrating at that level, that level of deserving, that level of my dreams can come true, that level of I'm worth it. Like, ladies, stop living below your means. If there's something in your life that is blaring at you, take care of it. Listen, I know. I can talk about this personally. At one point in time in my life, I'd gotten very fat, and it was blaring at me. Like, I wasn't happy, I was stressed, I was unattractive, I didn't like who I saw in the mirror, I wasn't attracting men, like, it was just bad. Like, I didn't even like me, so I didn't expect somebody else to like me. Like, oh my God, no. This thing was blaring at me. And because it had gotten so bad, when it was time for me to change what I saw, it became so daunting. But I knew that I was worth it. Ladies, you're worth it. I got my fat tail up and used to run this field. I was about 240. I used to run this field, and I used to run this field and throw up. I mean, I would physically get sick because I was so fat. But you know what? I didn't give up. I didn't care about the pain. I didn't care about the stress. I just knew that if I kept going, that I would be a better person. And before you knew it, I could run around a field. I could jog around my neighborhood. Then I could jog for miles. And your girl lost over like 60 pounds. Like, I'm talking about a black girl put on her headphones, putting this little hair thing up in a bun, and I'm gone. I'm just running, right? The runner's high is what people call it. ladies, if you want to change your life, you've got to focus on you. In 2020, you got to be on 20 by changing your frequency, calibrating your heart, calibrating your mind. Like, you got to get this thing together. Like, you don't have time to bull crap. You just don't. You just don't. Ladies, I want what's best for you. And I want you to live your best life. Like, always. Like, that is the only goal. You're walking through this life to experience things. And your only goal, sweetie, is to live your best life. That is your only goal. Your only goal is to live your best life. But in order for you to live your best life, you have to what? Guard your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. You got to put up some boundaries. You got to start working on you. You got to level up from the inside. Level up from the inside, spiritual, mental. You got to level up from the inside, because then everything else on the outside will change, and you'll start attracting things that are like you because you've changed. I don't know how more to stress this than say that you cannot attract what you are not. But when you start leveling up and you start living on 20, everything you're going to attract is a 20. And I said, people might try to test your gangster, but that's fine, because your gangster's A1. And I think sometimes the universe just pokes you to see if you plan or not. So you can come up to me now and try it if you want to. All that foolishness I used to entertain, I don't entertain now, especially when it comes to men. I don't entertain it. My thing is, I'm grade 1. I'm A1. I'm a queen. And queens don't rule from the bottom up. They rule from the top down. I'm a queen. So there's some things I won't even address. It's not worth my time. I'm royalty. Ladies, look at yourself as such. Come on, you got to level up. It's 2020. You got to live on 20. The situations in your life that are blaring at you, I don't care if it's financial. I don't care if it's a relationship. I don't care if it's your health. I don't care if it's your mental health, because I've struggled in every arena when it comes to leveling up. If I can do it, oh my God. Come on, ladies. I know y'all can do it. So as you guys know, and as I always say, love is life. Life is love. And our topic tonight is what? We are going to live 2020 on 20. How are we going to do that? We're going to start working on the level up from the inside. We're going to start working on our heart. We're going to start working on our mind. We're going to start thinking about what we say. Saying is a form of leveling up. We're going to start addressing things that need to be addressed. We're going to get rid of things that are dead weights, right? We're going to tune our frequency. Definitely tune your frequency, honey, because like attracts like. And if you want to attract a man who's rich, you got to be rich. It's simple. If you want to attract a man who is committed, you got to be committed. If you want to attract a man who values you, you better value yourself first. It's so simple. You have to be it to you first before anyone else can. Because like I always say, every relationship that you are experiencing outside of yourself starts internally. So love is life. Life is love. You guys have an awesome night. Bye.